Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Richmond. Week 7. Got a pretty full field tonight. I think we got about 22 or 23 drivers, so a lot of drivers on this for this track. Let's hope they did some practicing. Otherwise, might be a pretty interesting race. But either way, we're going to have fun here in the booth. As always, I have Milt Minter Jr. with me and Adam Roberts.
The Tres Caballeros here. We're in Richmond, Virginia, and the home that Denny built. No, maybe not, but he sure likes it there. But this is a track you either really like or you really hate.
Yeah, and I do not like this track, but I like watching it. So I do not like driving it, but I like watching. So I'm excited to watch this race. Be a good race.
You know, I actually like this track, and I think I'm one of the few people that do, because you know, oftentimes I hear people say this track's terrible. It's not really a short track. It's not really like, you know, a speedway. It's just kind of like its own thing. You know, it's just Richmond. You know, you can get up to a pretty good speed, but soon after you top out, you're jamming on the brakes. You're getting off the gas to go into the turn.
Yeah.
But
yeah, definitely.
Let's start off. Adam, you want to run us through the standings? I actually have a little graphic to put up here to kind of let everybody go through it there.
Yeah. We got, of course, you know, with 3 wins in a row for Tony, so he's up the top with 91 points. And then we got Sean Bounty in second with 83. And we got Justin Bird, 77 in third. Right behind him is Matt Watkins, 76. And then Greg Stuka is 5th with 67. And then I don't know how much more you go, but we got Shane in 6th with 63, Shane Wisman, then Sean in 7th, 57. We got James with 54, and then TJ Reese with 50 and 9, and then Michael Greenwood rounds out the top 10 with 39 points. So yeah, we still got, you know, plenty of racing left, so there's still a lot of points to grab and a lot of things that could change.
Yeah, I think we're only about, this is the halfway point, so there's still a lot of points to be made in this series, especially when you factor in, you know, some bad luck and maybe some missed races. You can always turn things around pretty quick.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, when you're looking at the weather here, it's going to warm up a little bit more, but this is actually pretty good weather as far as 74 degrees and 83 degree track temperature. So you should have some grip out there. And, you know, the thing about this track, it's always, you know, there's a couple different lines you can take. But eventually, you know, the outside in line with a good exit pointing out tends to not make your tires angry. When you try to dive in either in turn 1 or turn 3 and execute that out of turn 4, and same as turn 1 out of turn 2, man, that wall can come up real quick. And that thing can get tighter than a slip knot.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, let's check out the starting grid here. See what the results are looking like. I can get them to come up. There we go. Oh, Sean Bounty.
Well, you got the usual
on the pole.
Yeah, you got the usual. Well, you know,
it's a little different. I haven't seen Sean Bounty on the pole yet. Or Travis Stuka up in 2nd, Justin Bird in 3rd. That's pretty normal.
Right.
Craig Stuka in 4th, Tony Brewer's in 5th. That's the unusual part of this.
Yeah, no kidding.
Who else? Shane Wisman, yeah, all the way down in 11th. It looks like the top 15 qualified, and everybody on back decided not to. So, wow. Hops Marguson 13th. Right in the center.
Well, you know, Jamison Pearson, I mean, that is a famous name, even if you're not And there's another guy there who, qualifying ninth off the couch. Sean Sheaves, one of the original FSB members 20 odd years ago. He used to be, before we used our real names, he was like Octane 93, and I was Monster, and everybody had their names. That's how far FSB goes back, and it's so cool to see him. He got him a pretty decent rig here, and he wants to, dude had talent back in the day, and hell, qualifying ninth with this talented field, that's impressive.
Yeah.
He was one of the models of, the sportsmanship-based racing that you see here still today. And he was one of the original 8, we call them. 8 of us, some Canadians and some Americans, and we all started racing online, even though half the time we were blinking all over the place and couldn't see each other. Now look at what you got here. Is this cool or what?
Oh, without a doubt. It's come a long way.
And we're still here.
Yeah.
I had a long talk after. I just had this sense. I was talking to Sean Bounty, and then afterwards I was like, hey, dude, so what are you into, man? Because watching you race, man, you seem like you're a racer, dude. And, this guy's in, the boat racing, seriously, on and on. He knows a lot of people, and he's been around, and, he takes racing real seriously, and he's obviously really talented.
There's a lot of talented guys out there. All these guys have been doing it for many, many years. So, yeah, it's impressive to watch them run.
And it's so cool to see FSB moving forward like that with this young talent coming in. One driver that's not here today is Matt Watkins, who, it's setting pretty good in the points. And but he's not here. And, these other guys are racing for a championship here. So. I did not talk to anybody about lap time, how many laps I can go on tires. So,
yeah,
that's my bad. I'm just so excited I can watch on a computer now and watch the field and maybe do a little better broadcasting here.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna guess 45 laps. We're doing 120 tonight.
Yeah,
so
this is. Yeah, so we can look at the info here, and Richmond is, 3/4 of a mile track, so it's not a half mile. You can do 100 laps, I think, probably fuel wise, but tire wise, you're probably right. You're going to be grinding some tire edge here real quick.
Yeah.
This is a break and roll track. You brake and then you roll to get that car to plant to the right and put all that energy there to help turn the car with, it's not about aerodynamics. It's about mechanical grip and how you drive and brake and roll and plant and exit. You'll see these in-car be pretty sweet here.
Justin Bird Fan Club checking in as always.
Yeah. Once I get my steering wheel going, then I'm going to start practicing and see if I can get my butt whipped out here eventually. Right now, I'm glad I got a computer again.
We got a green flag. There we go.
Flag. Let's do it.
It's like everyone's getting off to a clean start there in turn one.
Ooh, the Hellman's car there just scraped against the wall just a little bit. 2 or 3 of TG Reese just got a little bit of smoke at the safer barrier there. No harm, no foul, no blood. Car looks good. Smoking a pancake. Chet Markin, my buddy who brought me this computer, I'm rolling on his old X computer. He's got a new super rig he's running. And he's taking a look at the 6 car right there of Steven Rex, the third, or Steven Rex 3. How's that go?
We have 22 drivers out there tonight. 2 of them you can't see because the tower only goes to 20, but there's 2 additional drivers out there that you're not seeing. Brandon Kiger and Sam Young.
Yeah.
Wisman back in 13. I mean, this guy's, fighting for another championship, and we'll have to see him back a ways here. Didn't qualify well. Riding behind Sean Reap and Sean Sheaves. You gotta be kidding me. Obviously I know this dude from back in the day, and he could drive, and so he's put some practice in.
Sean Sheaves. Yeah, I haven't seen that name in a long time. I think I raced with him a few times back in the old sim.
He's one of the original 8 dudes. The car in front of him up against the wall there. That was Dan Jones. Mr. Bond, James Bond down there. I don't know if you guys watched any of the 24 Hours of Le Mans, but they had the 009 and the 007 there, and they were troopers, but the Italian Ferrari kicked them in the butt.
Yeah, they did.
Brett Mekius in 9th, and Jamison Pearson, going to be groovy over the time to start to learn these guys. Michael Greenwood snapped loose there. Things are getting spread out. This is kind of typical Richmond.
Yeah.
Kind of like we saw last week, where you can either go this, how many pit times are you going to pit? So you can drive it into the ground and pit one extra time, or you can try to save tires and stay out and avoid that pit stop. We know what Tony Brewer is going to do, and he's probably going to be the last guy to pit. He's just chilling. You can see them guys up.
Uh-oh.
It's like Arthur Hinder may have went off the track and went into the pits. So I'm not sure how much damage he sustained, but clearly it was enough to go to the pits or for him to be towed, one of the two.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the field. I was looking at Tony Brewer. He just kind of looks like he's kind of settled in. What are we, 12 laps in? Looks like his lap times are about a half second off. That looks like about everybody's. It looks like they've losed about a half a second on the laps.
Who's the fastest on the track right now?
Well, Sean Bounty has the fastest lap at the moment. Let me see.
It's like a 22.62 from Justin Bird is what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Yeah, he just did a... Michael Greenwood just did a 22.72. That was the fastest. But Justin, just put another 22.71. That was the fastest last lap. So Justin Bird's hanging right behind Sean Bounty. Not lost really any time. He's actually right on his bumper, it seems. Yeah, I expected maybe you guys are just trying to settle in on these this first stint here. I expected a little more action on this first stint as far as maybe a little more chaos. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, same. And also, speaking of things that I expected to hear Milt talking right now, but it looks like he may have accidentally muted himself. So
is that what happened?
So yeah. So Milt, if you can hear us, you're.
Oh my God! I've been talking. I was like, these guys are probably getting. I actually had a phone call, and
okay.
that screwed up my. I didn't pick it up, but it still screwed up my.
Because I was thinking to myself, it's awfully quiet in here.
Yeah.
I'm sure the fans were too out there. They're like, wait a minute, this isn't right.
Yeah, so I had all kinds of wax philosophical going on there that everybody missed. That sucks.
Well,
what I'm seeing,
hey, run us back through it. We got time.
Basically, the gist of it is what I'm seeing from these cars and their lap times is quick degradation. I mean, fastest lap for Stuka 22.4, and now his last lap was a 23.1 already, and that's only lap 20, in. So take a look at some of these other guys as we go up towards the front. They're all up into the 23s already. Like what the heck? Yeah, Bird, Soak Up, and Bounty already almost, pushing on a second slower than they were. So tire degradation at the 20. So now we're at lap 21. You think you can go 40? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So we're going to split that into the 3 stops. Which is going to be like lap 30.
Well, yeah, if you go. Well, yeah, I mean, if you pit, at lap 30, pit 60,
you go to
90.
40,
Yeah, you have to extend that last stop a little bit. Well, no, probably not. No, you could go, to lap 120. Yeah, that would probably be, do you want tires, or if you can go the fuel, can you go 40 laps? That's the question. But which is more important?
Yeah, all these cars are running 23 pluses now. They're actually running pretty similar. The best race on the track we have here is Andrew Elliott and Brett Mecky's going at it. I'll have to get that right. If I'm butchering your name, sorry. Let me know. Hey, dummy, this is how I pronounce it.
Yeah.
So the 9 working up there hard. These guys are losing their minds right here. I mean, the Greek, as they say in Europe, is not. There's no Greek out there.
Yeah, the battle for 9, 10th, 11th, and 12th is.
What's spicy?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and here comes Mr. Bond down on the inside. Around the outside. No, he's around the inside. Yeah. And that's tough at Richmond here because, it's hard enough not to eat that turn 2 and turn 4 walls. You see, the 9 coming out right now, just, trying to get that exit, stay right up against the wall there, breaking the straight line, roll all the way through the center of the corner. He's still got a great line there. Pick up the throttle, and he hits the wall. You
Yeah.
can tell he did not get that inside. He was about 6 feet too wide there and carrying too much momentum.
Yeah.
And that's going to leave a mark. And here comes the patient 62 of Sean Reed. So, the leaders are taking off here, but we got some battling going on here. Along with the 34 Wispin, we know what these guys are, about normally. I listened to Sean Reed talk for 30 minutes about how he hates this place. And yet here he is fighting for a top 10. Dude can roll, and so can these dudes.
Yeah, Wisman on the outside of number 9 goes right by him. I think Sean's going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to follow the same.
Might have sustained a bit of damage.
Yeah, I think so there. And, he's like, maybe he's trying to, like, I got to quit fighting this because, and Reap hits the wall. I'm sure, man, you don't want to hear that radio right now.
Greg Stuka and Tony Brewer going at it here. That's something you might want to watch. Two very skilled drivers. Two very patient drivers.
Chilling here in 13. He's staying in contact here, which is, you're seeing some veteran stuff from all these guys in this area there. And Pops, right? We kind of saw them all kind of split up, and now we're seeing things kind of, still, I'm really impressed with Sean Sheaves right here, though. And, he's, because it's going to remind me of me trying to get back out here and see what I got. And if I can run this good, the way he's running right now, I'll be really happy, And that's something you could build on coming off the couch, and because this is professional sim racing here. Back to the front, back to the front. The birds are the word, and you see how the 13 is down low there. He is just rim riding that.
Yeah, hugging that line.
And it's that smoothness, last lap 23.4, that's a second, that's 1.2 seconds faster than his fastest lap, 22.2, but he's making me look, like, no way, man, I can make the 40 laps, no problem, bro.
Yeah.
These guys are all so good, and you guys are both racers too, and this is the stuff we marvel on and to like. And I'm pressing the gas and the brake, dude. I'm turning the wheel. Why is this guy, after 37 laps, just whipping me badly? Look, these guys they're either trying higher lines or they're just like, when they're hitting the brakes and trying to roll, that right front is like, it ain't happening. Bird is just move. Move his lap. Bounty running exactly the same last lap at 23.431 as Bird. So he's right there too. Got to start thinking, some pit stops is going to happen here.
Oh, we got to be close.
Yeah, we have to be.
Because we're, none of us are, Einstein, but we can do a little math, They've already lapped some cars here, which doesn't surprise me. It's just 3/4 of a mile track, and when things start getting bad, they get real bad. Tony Brewer still running that same. What we noticed from Tony is like doesn't have to beat you on the first, stint or tire run or fuel run. But he learned.
Yeah.
And he applies that, in my experience, I was probably always best to start out, and that's Sean Sheaves. It's kind of the mustard's off the hot dog now a little bit.
I think he was trying to get out of the way there. There was some traffic coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job. That stuff's got to be all new. He's got triple screens now, so I mean, he's put in some serious. When I saw him on there tonight, I was like, "Say what?" Oh, and he is well prepared. These guys are all trying to. You don't want to get caught out. You got to think it's got to be close to box time here.
Oh, we're definitely close to the pit stop, but in the meantime, while we're waiting on that, if you're out there in the audience, be sure to like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Likes and subscriptions always help us. We're trying to get to 100, I think, is the goal for the end of this season. So help us out. Click that button. Be much appreciated.
Yeah, Michael Greenwood's the first one to pit. He just came in.
Yep.
He's
See
away.
him there. Yep. Coming out of the pits now.
Mm-hmm. He had fallen back to 7th.
Still a good, solid run so far,
Yeah.
and he made that, objective, barring any thing else going on here.
We got
Cars
Andrew
are
Ellis.
getting lapped here, and Brewer, I think, is catching Sean Bounty here. So we're going to have to see what they're going to do. They got to be pitting pretty soon, and Bounty doesn't pit this lap. He's like, I don't think, brother. I don't think so, brother.
Yeah, they're cut up on lap. I mean, this is lap 47. Let's see.
And they're still running Bounty last lap on 23.130. That's not too shabby with worn tires. But the 12 is on him big time. He's gained car length after car length. This is what he does.
Can they stretch it to 50? They got to pit on lap 50.
Well, they're still pulling away, so to everybody else. So there's, when you go long and you lose lap time, you worry about it, but their laps continue to, they're lap 48 now. Brewer is 23.5, so.
Well, there's only been 2 cars enter the pits so far.
Yeah.
Looks like Andrew Elliott and Michael Greenwood are the only 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe this is going to be just a one-stop race.
Well, you never know with the different settings you can have here, but with setting up these sessions and stuff, but the 12 just went by the 36, and the 36 is starting to struggle here, so he's got to be thinking about boxing here, and he hasn't yet, so. Greenwood with the freshies, he wants to get by the 12 here and try to make some hay, but can't seem to.
Yeah, he's
think
getting
with
a
those
little.
fresh tires.
Yeah. It's tough.
I don't know if he's being a little nice or.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say if he's getting a good run out or it's kind of accepting his fate, and trying to get the finish he thinks he can get. He doesn't want, obviously, he doesn't want to wreck P2, so.
Yeah.
But he comes up on him,
Yeah.
If I'm Brewer, I might want to just let him by, but now he's got the lap traffic of Kevin Mays there. He's got to get by.
Yeah, but if you're Michael Greenwood, you got to go.
Yeah,
I think they'll give
absolutely.
these.
Oh,
Yeah, I think he's going to get it this time.
Brewer just perfect. Great job by Tony there. For two reasons. Because he realized, okay, I think I can probably let him by. I'm going to give him a lane, but he still maximized his pace throughout that.
Yeah.
He didn't just pull over, and he made it easy and still, didn't scrape the wall and didn't, maximize his speed, even though that, now that's 23 eighths. Well, they're obviously going to try to split the thing in one stop.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
So we'll see if any of these other drivers who pitted sooner. And, the problem is, only, like you guys said, there's only two guys. So it's I don't know if they made enough hay while the getting was good,
Yeah, you really
typical of this track. It's like Darlington is the same way. The tired cheese grating. There are those who handle it and those who can't.
Greg Stucco there going in the pit lane.
Yeah, Shane just hit the pit lane.
Sean Boundy.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's time. And that's right at lap 60, so.
Hits his pit stall perfectly.
All that is part of it. Gotta have the whole package. The pit entry, pit exit. It's called, pit delta is your entry, stop, and exit, and how you execute that. Nothing.
Don Reap and Dan Jones, the next up.
Not good. Yellow flag is out.
Yellow flag.
Oh no.
This changes
This
everything.
is gonna be. Yeah, it does.
Oh boy.
Justin
Cars
had.
that have stayed out. The 14 running slowly of Sean Sheen.
Yeah,
Not
I think
sure what happened there.
I think
Let me
Sean
take a
found
look.
himself in some
I'm going to
trouble.
go back and take a look and see what happened to the 14. And yes,
Yeah.
it is the Pittsburgh.
I'm going through it now here.
This is a tough dude from Pittsburgh, but he took a lick here.
Got loose. Came right out from under him. Slid, and I think he
Guaranteed
hits the inside
this guy
wall.
will be at a Pittsburgh Steeler football game. Yeah, at least once this year. And yeah, he just got loose there and hit the brakes and couldn't get it to snap around.
Dang.
Probably on cold tires there. Wow.
Well, maybe the damage isn't too bad. Looking at his car, it doesn't look terrible, but
no. Yeah, let me take.
It's one of those. This one of those tracks where you can sustain a little bit of. You can sustain a little bit of damage on this track and probably be okay. So, I don't think he'll be hurting too bad.
Was that marbles or was that like car parts?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Some rubber up under the car there, or I don't know, man. It might make the car lighter, you know.
Yeah, perhaps. All right, first caution of the night. 64 laps, roughly 61, 62 laps in. So that's pretty good. I mean, that just speaks to how awesome these guys are, how patient they are, and just, you know, how they're not out there to win on the first few laps. They're out there for the long haul. They're out there, you know, they show respect for one another. They're just good drivers, you know. Good league.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. It looks like Tony Brewer will have the lead. It's like
Well,
working out for him.
you know, I'm laughing like because man, this guy just, you know, we're just seeing, you know, the professionalism, you know, and some luck too, you know, but caution comes out at a certain time and you know, nails you. 14 cars still, they're working on that, you know, beating and banging on it. So still just an awesome, you know, off the couch run for Sean Sheets, and hope to see more of that, you know.
Pace car is off.
All right, here we go.
That car's back in still.
That was a green
flag. We got chaos. Coming out of the pits.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you know, and we're live here, and we're, you know, this is that's crazy stuff.
Yeah,
and another caution here.
Michael Greenwood.
Yeah. What the heck was going on there? Some guys were obviously confused. We got the 83 Greenwood going slow here.
Oh, it
The
happens.
mustard's off the hot dog.
It happens every time we have a caution with somebody in the pits, and yeah, dang. Lost it and caught that inside wall.
Yeah.
Oof. A little bit of a bold move coming out like that, but nobody hit him, so made it work.
Yeah, I missed it there. Okay, I'm going to watch it. I've got it delayed here. Okay, I'm watching again here. Oh my gosh, yeah, Greenwood just lost it coming out of pit road. He was trying to get out in front of the starting field there. Very odd there. You know, obviously that, you know, there was some confusion there. That's not what he wanted to do. I'm sure he doesn't feel real happy about that.
But at the very least,
that's part of it.
At the very least, you know, it's going to give those guys who are in the pits that chance to get back out there and get their position back. So
absolutely,
that's kind of the
every
silver
problem
lining here.
somebody else has, you know, it helps other people. You know?
Yeah.
Tough for Michael Greenwood. Man, you know, I can't wait to be one of them guys out there making the, you know, mistakes like that, because I guarantee that's going to happen when you see me out there driving. You're gonna be like, man, you know, this guy sure talks the talk, you know. But can you walk the walk? I don't know, man. Maybe back in the, you know, in the horse and buggy days. Man, so now we got to regroup here. The heck's going on? Brewer up in front, Justin Bird. Justin dominated that first part of the race here. Over halfway now, so that changes, you know, potential fuel strategies. Taking a, you know, Soak Up has always been up there. Jamison Pearson and Steven Rex, he definitely, you know, Patience, you know, Chet Barka, T.G. Reese. A lot of these guys are, you know, Kevin Mays have, you know, got themselves in positions where they were lap down cars.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if this recycles, but I'm sure when you see some of those other lap down guys like Sean Reef and Whispering and Mr. Vaughn, Dan Jones, they're probably not very happy. Something happened there, you know. That's called wrong place at the wrong time.
The pace car's off, so we're getting ready to restart here.
Yeah.
Well, there's a green flag. Tony gets off to a really good start.
Ooh, I guess I might have hit the wall there. Oh gosh, we got another wreck. That is not good.
Cautions bring cautions, and we're trying to figure it out here, but
I'm not
Is
sure.
there a yellow?
and it's still green.
I
We
don't
got
think there was a
green.
yellow. There was, wow.
No.
I saw a few
Oh,
cars.
yeah, I don't know. Oh, there's a big
There's a
wreck
yellow.
now.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh my gosh, Chet Barkin
Somebody's
and
smoking. Dang.
Jeff Hill gets through. Chet Barkin and a couple of veterans there, Wisman and
Stephen Rex.
Bounty cannot see. His hood is up, and he's trying to drive back to the pits with the hood sticking up. I remember my dad doing that at Laguna Seca, and he had to stick. Back then, you could stick your head out the window, but with this Hans device, that's the only view. We gotta see if we can get a cockpit view of Mr. Oh, he's gotta be, man.
Looking like that's what caused
What
it
a
initially.
Yeah, he can't see
Stephen Rex.
nothing. Look at that. Look at that cockpit view.
Oh wow.
You gotta. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing for him because I don't know how he's getting back to pit road because you can't see squat out the front of his car right now, dude. And we're going live here, so let's take a look as we're looking at the FSB replay right now.
A lot of beat up cars there.
That was the first wreck. That was another wreck there. How did Bounty get to a spot? And man, we got red lights everywhere. What is this? A red flag or come on?
Dang. Well, we were doing good there for a while for the first 60 laps.
No, you guys got to try to find this in-car Sean Bounty trying to get back to pit road. That is just crazy. I mean,
I'll see if we can dig it up here for the next.
Yeah, if you can, if not, I mean. But man, I'm telling you, I don't know how he got himself back. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue or not, but he's trying. They're working on it in the pits, but I mean, that's straight up no vision.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went for a ride.
Yeah. I don't know how that first wreck with the 6 and with Sean and 007 with Dan, I don't know how that did not cause a caution.
I don't know.
They both went to I guess because they went inside, maybe?
Yeah, I think Barkin got loose in front of him, and so he had nowhere to go and got into him, and then just got. And also, the car behind him they were both flapping. They need some better hood pins in those cars or something. But
yeah, they both
when
had
Bounty started to get going, the hood flies up on it.
Yeah, they both had the talking hoods. All right, back to the green flag. Let's try this again.
Yep. There's a green flag.
Are you not entertained?
Oh, I'm entertained.
All right, it looks like they got off to a good start that time.
Oh yeah, much better.
Much better. We got Tony. Dustin's on the inside of him. See if Justin can take it.
Chet Parkin going down pit road. That car has definitely got problems. He was holding on, trying to grab his butt with 2 hands, and he couldn't do it. So he's bringing that Mustang in.
Yep, we got Justin. He was able to get around Tony.
Sean Sheaves still in there. I think he's done. Greenwood, I think they're Markin going through pit road. Maybe he had a drive-through penalty or something. If he's back on track, Dan Jones damaged. Kevin Mays looks pretty clean in P7 here. This is a great run for Kevin. like that, but the 007 does get by him, kind of pushes up. And now it's getting more intense because laps are winding down a little bit. Jamison Pearson, pretty quiet here, and now he's up to P4. So Cup 2, Brewer, we know what's up, and the bird's the word right now. He's gotten in front here, and this looks like a good situation for him because I think the 12 might have been better on the long run, but on the short run, I think 13 he could pound and ground here and ground and pound, and maybe if he gets green flag there, they're still only gonna have to pit one more time.
I don't know. I think they can go the rest of the way.
It'll be close.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Actually, no, they probably.
Yeah, I'm looking at
loose there.
Lap 82. Yeah, no kidding. There's only 38 laps left. My bad. My bad. Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
Pit stops are initiated.
Yeah, it's just a matter of if Justin's laps will fall off here enough, and if Tony, like you said, he came on strong at the end of that run, so we'll see if he can do the same.
Yeah, now he's going to have to step it up a little bit, and he knows that. And what does Jamison Pearson have here? Because
he just got
kind of
around.
like, chilling like a villain, sitting on a sack of seeds, and now it's time to go. Duca too always finds his way to the front. Soka kind of got passed by a couple guys there, so he's back. This is a great run for TG Reese here, the back here.
Yeah, he's had a
He's
quiet
been around.
night.
He's been around since NASCAR 3, which that was before some of these drivers were even born. So
yeah,
yes, it was.
My man TG is still in the lead lap here.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna
this is a great
around
run for him.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see guys like him and Pops. He's been there for a long time, still, grinding it out, and want to get out there and do the same thing. What we were, what we used to be, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just go out to have some fun, try to compete, and get some full fields here and get some action.
Yeah.
And we got action. That's for sure.
Yes. Yes, we do.
We'll ride along with Kevin Mace here for a minute. He seems to have this track down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is, definitely, man, I tell you what, a top 10 would just, he would just love, man. I guarantee it.
I can see Kevin finishing the top 5 here tonight.
Even better.
Yeah, he's got so, we'll see if he can reel in TJ and
Good battle with Pops and Chet Barkin's car not too damaged with all that went on, so his car's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
And they're kind of, going by Pops here. I think Pops pretty much got out of the racing line there and just let him by, and then he's going to pick back up and see what he can do here.
How about Jeff Hill here? Don't count him out.
This is a good little battle here. Kind of how it, progressed, before.
Yeah, Jeff with the running a top 10. He had a
Michael Greenwood like on the apron, so they brought the car back out, and he's really struggling and going very slow there. This kind of dangerous here. We'll have to see if he can pick up the pace here. The car looks okay, but
Yeah, he can't really pick up any spots. He's 26 laps down in 15th, and Sean Reap is in 14th, 2 laps down. So
now
I
he's
don't
running
think he
down
can-
low there. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, I think he's just getting some drive time in.
Still battling going on. Good racing here. Andrew Elliott and Dan Jones. Dan Jones's car just, Mr. Vaughn, shaken not stirred.
It looks a little
stirred on
stirred.
that. Yeah, it looks a little stirred on that left
little stirred
rear
up.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reap still battling, Barkin battling. Chet has been running with his son, Corey. And the son is, Chet gets sideways there. His son, Corey, is, I was like, hey, man, does he want to come roll with us? He's still trying to figure it out, but he's buying different cars, running iRacing. And a lot of you, some of you may watch this broadcast might be in that same boat, I mean, what do you think about league racing? League racing, you get, technical support. How does your stuff run? You get sportsmanship. You get people, showing you things. You get a place to, kind of learn. Some people come, off the couch or into the game and they're just, exceptional, and the rest of us we're kind of, just. But you have a great base to learn off here, Ed.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
people just have that natural ability to be good at this game, just know how to drive or just know how the game operates. I don't know what it is, but either way, they have a gift, and something that no matter how much I practice, what kind of equipment I have, it doesn't matter. I'll never be able to, purchase talent. I can't buy the best equipment and the best, driving schools. It doesn't matter. I'll never be able to beat those
when you
guys.
look at like Jimmy Hill, who drives a NASCAR driver, and he's also a iRacing legend. He drives on a little tiny screen with a G27 like I got, and regular old pedals, and he whips everybody's butt. I mean, obviously in stock cars, he's usually driving equipment that's not up to par with. So, but he's point is, exactly what you're saying here. This is a great little, view here of Sean Reap, and from Sean Reap back to Jeff Hale, this whole group here. Something's going to happen here. Andrew Elliott, it's just good, clean, hard racing, but we'll see. And Kevin Mays here with, one of the best runs I've seen him have, really cool. Now we get back up to the front here, and we got cars that are getting lapped and also the leaders. So this is pretty tense right here. Third, fourth, and fifth are pretty close to each other, but the two leaders, the showstoppers, are the guys we've seen all year and all last year. Justin Bird and Tony Brewer are starting to stretch their legs, ladies and gents. So let's look at some lap times here.
Yeah, Tony he's reeling them in. He'll reel them in a little bit, and he'll fall back a little bit. But he's right there. He's right there. He's just waiting for Justin to make a little bit of mistake. Just a little bit. Just slip up.
There's
all he needs
23
him to do.
ones, 23 twos.
Yeah.
And then you look at Justin Pearson in P3, he's 2s and 3s and 4s. So that's,
Yeah.
you know, right there, that's showing you what's, you know, and them two running up front, they're kind of disturbing each other's air and rhythm, but it just, you know, it's just amazing, you know. Racing is such a trip, you know. And Stuka in fourth, kind of same thing. 2 3s, 4s, 5s. That's the difference. That's a 10th a lap.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, that you can't even see them anymore. Still, you know, Brewer, you know, 23-2 last lap. And it's more difficult even when you're following. And so they're starting to fade, you know. These are 10ths, you know, but they're still 10ths ahead of the cars behind them.
Yeah, it almost looks like when Tony gains on him, it's like Justin is just maybe just cooling his tires a little bit and then letting him gain a little bit up there, or if it is Tony can catch him, but then the air disturbs his car too much and he just can't get under him. You know, it's so hard to pass here at Richmond.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, when you talk to these guys like post race and you listen to them, it's like that one teacher you had maybe that you actually had a subject that was real interesting, and they would talk and you would get that little fuzzy feeling like, you know, you were just sitting there listening with kind of your mouth ajar because these guys just have this stuff handled, you know.
Yeah, they're coming up
And
on
it's
pops
like-
here.
Yeah, and lap traffic's going to be an issue, and Jameson Pearson solidly in third there, but Craig Stuka's starting to take a look here, and he's about 2 car lengths behind.
These guys only have the physical ability to, you know, control these wheels, control these pedals, but also just the overall racing IQ, you know, to be able to make decisions out there on the track that make sense, do things that make sense, and remain calm as well, like not just sit there and stare at your rearview mirror when somebody's bumper locking you.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I think that's what separates the pros, you know, from the from the guys like me.
Yeah.
Well, and that separates simulation racing from, you know, playing. Oh, Stuka into the wall hard as he was catching Stuka, and I think he followed Stuka into the wall.
No. We're still
That
green.
that was true. I mean, it was just, you know, there was a lot of sparks, and you know, I hope you know, Tyrod wasn't bent there on the 11 from Stuka.
Oh,
But
Tony
you know,
is.
it's the evolution of the sim racing, where, you know, what you think you could do, you can actually do it because the sim has the physics to allow you to be more realistic. And you're thinking of what racing should be. And now Stuka into the wall.
Ooh, getting a little loose, Tony Brewer.
Yeah.
Justin
Tony,
Brewer.
Tony and Justin are getting loose.
Yeah,
I think them
everybody's
tires are
starting
coming
to
off.
push here.
5 to go.
Yeah,
Tires
they
are
are.
going up, and it's go time.
You got Ken
We've only got
Soska.
4 laps to go here.
Ken Soska checking in for the most exciting part of the evening.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he do, you know.
Here we go. You think is Tony the kind of racer he might use the chrome horn, as they call it?
The chrome horn.
No,
I mean, this
I
is
don't think.
Richmond.
He hasn't done that yet.
Yeah, he has not.
He's leading the championship.
Yeah.
So
They are
I
coming
don't
up on a
know.
pack
I
of
think
cars
if it
too.
happens,
Bad
gonna wanna
timing
put
here.
pressure.
Yeah.
Bad timing. I think
This
he's
is
gonna put
bad.
he's gonna put the pressure, but
Yeah.
you know,
Wow, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, it is.
I'm getting nervous.
Yeah.
Nervous for these guys.
We're going with 2 to go.
Yeah, you know, they're sideways like
A little outside.
you know, sliding on mud there.
Oh,
He is making it as wide as he can.
he's trying to. He's working on him hard, but man, Justin's just not.
Racing
He's just
here.
locked in, man. Like he's not even
1 to
flinching.
go.
Yeah,
White
this
flag.
is good. This is great stuff. 1 to go.
He's close on his bumper
Oh.
there. So close.
That was close.
You know, they're
Oh,
almost going to catch the lap cars right
He's gonna
at
go
this
for.
time.
Look at him. He's going for it on the outside.
he
He
is.
goes
Oh
on
my
the
gosh.
outside. Oh my gosh.
He's pushing it
Oh,
hard.
they're sideways.
no.
And they're spinning sideways
no.
over the line.
Oh, I think
Brewer.
Tony got him. Got him just
Brewer
barely.
got him.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
I'll have to go back and watch that again. That was. I'm actually want to go
Ooh.
back right now and just watch
That
that
is
because that is
unbelievable.
that
Yeah,
is
we got
just
to see that again.
too crazy.
Look, you got to hand it to Justin Bird there because he raced it, even though he got beat on the outside there, and he raced him clean. You know, he put the only reason they made contact is because he got loose. You know,
Yeah, he kind
these
of
guys
swung it
raced
high there.
hard and clean. This was some great racing right there.
Oh, look at this.
You
right
don't always
across
see
the
that in
line.
sim racing. These are two pros
Look at
that
that.
got it done. You know.
Wow. That's incredible.
While we're looking at that, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna go back because I just want to, you know, see. We had other battles there. I don't know if we can catch some of those, but because I want to see what these other guys did. While you guys, you know, show that and you know try to, you know, like we try to digest all this. Because they were battled with P3 and P4 also going. Jamison Pearson and the 11. Gosh darn it! I can't.
Oh, yeah.
What am I doing here? Where's my controller? There it is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like
Yeah, SoCup and the 10
Pearson, yeah.
and the 11 were going at it. Stuka.
yeah, he gave him the bumper, but he kind of backed off after he did. Looks like he tried not to. He hit the brake. Yeah.
Hey man, I'm telling you what, this is the kind of racing I want to watch. You know, I don't like that. You know, wrecking.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta wreck a guy to win stuff. What I like is, well, I don't know if I can say this. Okay, so on the radio, Tony Brewer just said, you know, Justin, that was, you know, blankety blank awesome.
Right,
So that's two competitors talking to each other, and Justin Bird's like, I'm speechless, bro. You know,
we're gonna break this down when they get in the booth here.
Yeah.
absolutely. There, that's some great.
I
That's some
really want to
great
know
stuff.
what they were thinking throughout the whole thing.
Wow. You know, sponsored by NASCAR-aholic, 50 years of NASCAR. That's my buddy, you know, Ken Soska, you know, FSB legend and admin and, you know, flight simulator dude, and, you know, NASCAR historian, you know, sponsoring FSB Racing. We appreciate that. You know, thank you, bro. So, wow, let's pick up the pieces.
Go in the replay booth for this one.
My my gosh.
All right, who are we waiting on? Got Justin in here. Man, who who came in third? Was that Jameson came in third?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just hopped into the booth.
Ken Soska texted me, Stuka and Soka, if we could put Soska in there, we would have the 3 S's and we would have some tongue twisters. He goes, if I could keep up with those guys,
That's right.
Yeah, it's groovy, man. Right on, brother. Thanks for watching.
Oh, let's see if we can get the replay up here. All right, we got the replay booth up.
Yeah, we gotta see. We gotta see this stuff again, bro.
First, we're going to talk to Jameson. Jameson, can you hear us?
Loud and clear.
Cool, man. Hey, so I feel like you kind of came out of nowhere. I'm not sure where you were running the whole night, but you ended up in a good position there at the end in third place. So just kind of run us through, everything that happened out there. How'd you end up in third? Was it, did you hang back? Did the caution help or hurt you? Like what was it? What was going on out there?
Well, I thought I had for the first stint, really good long run car, and I was running it basically till it was on E and starving, and just got a lucky caution there. So I got myself some pretty good track position. And then the caution came out. I kind of had a few up and down cautions there. And then kind of shredded my tires on that last stint. Sadly, I kind of got a little loose early. Try keeping up with those leaders, and then I realized I was in a different zip code from them. I kind of burned them up real quick.
Well, that happens. But you gave it a good run out there. It was. Is this your first race with us?
This is my first race in the Xfinity race, second race with the league. So,
man,
so far very happy with the competition here.
It's awesome, man. Yeah, it's great to have you out there. You're definitely gonna be a top contender here. It was fun watching you run around the track. And these guys, I mean, we were talking earlier. Some of these guys have been racing, since the '90s, on sim racing of some kind. So it's just hard to beat out that experience sometimes. But you did a great job, man. You held your own out there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for the kind words for the league there too, and we hope you come back, man, because that was definitely some cool stuff.
Yeah, man, for sure. Come back next week. All right, and I think I've got it pulled up here.
Yeah, I want to see this again.
Justin
I
Bird
can actually
Tony
pull it
Brewer.
up on my hand. But...
well, I've got it pulled up on the broadcast right now.
Yeah, we want to see it on the broadcast.
It might be a little bit of a delay, but
no problem.
Let's see. So Justin, what as you're going into the final turn here, like what's going through your mind whenever Tony decides to go high?
That was my first thought initially. Because I thought I was waiting and my tires were pretty cooked because I was pushing it pretty hard to keep them behind me. But first off, I want to say congratulations to Jameson. It's very impressive to have a top 3 in here. And of course, Tony, that was really, really fun, man. I wasn't expecting you to do that, but you got me. And I give it a little too much gas and just broke loose. And I noticed I contacted you a little bit. I wasn't going to do you like that. So sorry about that contact, but you deserve that one, man. Hell of a race.
No, hell, that was clean-ass racing. Right,
that's what it's all about, man. That's what I get on here for.
Yeah, man. Well, you guys showed, excellent sportsmanship, excellent patience out there. It's tough because you're out there, you're giving it your all. You've been in the seat for over an hour, racing, thinking, trying to think of the best way forward. And yeah, you guys just put on an awesome show.
I will say
yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
Actually, I thought you had Tony there because I thought the lap car was going to stay high.
That's what I was expecting.
So I expected Tony to catch the lap car, but the lap car had enough momentum to stay out of your guys' way. And then Tony just got a great run on the outside there. And because I thought he was going to get pinched right there. And you did a good job to stay up on his quarter panel to make sure, that happened. But at the end there, that's just me. Yeah, you were already getting I'm watching it like, delayed. You were already getting sideways when I mean, you were just on the power. He was on the power. Both of you were kicking it sideways as you made contact with each other, and you both went across the. Sorry, there, my microphone died.
All
That
good.
sucks. Okay.
Yeah, we're
Sorry, there, my mic died. Just to finish, and I'll stop talking here. But you were both were like sideways as you're, that's like some old school stuff. That's like Ricky Craven. That's like '80s stuff. Beating and banging, going across, and let's see who gets there first. Great stuff.
yeah, this replay is just incredible. I keep watching it.
Yeah, I keep watching it too.
It's
No,
so
man,
much
with the
fun.
camera work too, with
Yeah.
the you gotta get, this is legit, dude.
Watch from the rear roof cam of Tony here now. Yeah, it's it's insane. I mean, I've seen some pretty wild finishes, but this is just fun.
No, I mean you could put him in the wall there. You leaned on him and like, okay, we're gonna bang across the line, but still Tony had the momentum, and either you could have turned right and ended him, and you didn't. So that's just good hard racing right there.
Yeah, incredible. Incredible
Very
stuff.
cool.
Yeah, so much fun to watch. Trying to get the final results pulled up here, but it's not wanting to cooperate with me. But yeah, guys. Yeah, as always, appreciate you guys coming out. Tony, man, congrats on the win. That's what, 3 or 4 in a row now. So you're and
Five,
every
right.
Six. I think it's six
is it
for him.
oh wow, okay. Well, I mean, and every single race you've won, at least the ones I can remember, I feel like they've come down to the wire a lot. So you've got the competition out there, but
Yes, sir.
but you managed to beat them, by a few feet.
Yeah.
More
Well,
times than not. But hey, man, that's what it's all about. Sometimes that's what it comes down to, and you make it
yeah.
happen.
I've had some good cars and good runs, man. Like Justin, that was great, dude. That was so much fun. Like best finish ever. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was incredible. Yeah, I can't
Yeah, if
say
you
enough.
could
I feel
put
like
that on your desktop, like when you start your computer, if you could put like
Yeah.
that, like a little GIF on you, both you guys, like put that on your desktop and just like run that when you fire your computer up. And if you don't feel like racing or anything, and all of a sudden you see that, I'd be like,
think
yeah.
I think that would make iRacing's top 10 right there. That was
Heck yeah.
just amazing.
yeah, it was one
Something-
of the
something
ones.
you-
It wasn't easy as it looks.
Yeah, no, not at all. But,
Man, I was worried. I was like, man, I don't know if I can pass him. Like I was trying everything I could, man, and he had better run out of the corners, but I felt like I was out breaking him into the corners. Like I could get in better, but he was getting out better. And
Yeah.
there at the end, I was just like, man, I'm sailing it to see what happens, and I got to run, and I was like, oh, here we go, It was great, man. That was so fun.
yeah.
Well, that was what the skill of the two of you guys. Everybody out there is just badass, but that break and roll and timing and exactly how much break and roll and distributing the energy into the right front to get the car to turn but still save tires. I mean, you guys' smoothness was just amazing.
Well, man, like we were going hard too. Like I was pushing and he was pushing, We were sliding all over the place coming out of the corners, and I was just like, man, I needed to hook up a little more and I can get a good run. And that last corner, it stuck, man.
No, you made it happen.
Awesome.
Yeah, I
to
was
watch.
trying. It took everything I had.
Well,
Justin was, man, he's a great driver. I'm telling you, that was great.
Yeah, I mean, those victories don't mean nothing unless you're, like beating somebody you respect,
Yeah,
it's very true.
and you race hard against, and when you get a chance to beat them,
Well, that's definitely going to be on a highlight
awesome.
reel one day. So,
heck yeah, that should be like the FSB recruitment reel right there.
yeah, exactly. That was awesome.
yeah,
But
yeah.
all right, guys, I think we got to shut it down for the night. Before
Yep.
we go, I want to thank the sponsors, NASCARaholic, sponsored by Ken Saska, All-Star Engraving, of course, the series admin, Shane Wisman, making this all possible. Sam Young, John Reap, all the guys that come together and make this league what it is. So we can't thank them enough. Adam, Milty, it's always good to have you guys here in the booth with me. Awesome
Privilege.
stuff. So,
Yep.
all right, guys. Catch us next week. Anybody got the schedule pulled up? Because I sure don't, so I have no idea where we're going to be at. Let's see here. It's looking like Pocono. Be at Pocono next
Yeah.
week.
Oh
Same-
my gosh!
Same time. You don't want to miss that.
Man, I
Hopefully,
wish I could get this thing running enough to get in that race.
hopefully
Oh,
we
yeah.
have the same turnout.
I need some help with a G27 steering wheel, boys. So, if anybody wants to reach out and help me get that on Windows 11, and if I can get some laps, I'd like to get out there and run some laps there next
Yeah.
week. Definitely.
Hopefully we can get it figured out, and hopefully we have the same amount of drivers this week as we have next week. So
Absolutely.
look forward to seeing everybody. Everybody in the audience, thank you guys too for participating in the chats.
Thank you.
You guys also make this fun and keep this thing going. So hope to see you all next week, and have a good night.
Thanks, guys.